Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Jen. I'm a software engineer in the ecosystems program at Puppet and tech lead of the Puppet Development Kit team. If you're a regular in the Puppet modules community, you may have run into me on the Puppet community Slack or GitHub, or going back a bit further on IRC as a username BMGen. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about the Puppet Development Kit, or PDK for short. A bit over a year has passed since we released version 1.0 of the PDK, and we've been overjoyed by the reception from the community and enthusiasm and passion from our users. And here on the PDK team, we want to bring as much of the community into our development process as we can. So today I'm going to talk about how we're going to do that. But before I go any further, I wanted to do a quick overview of PDK for everyone here who is new to Puppet or are new to the PDK. Prior to the creation of PDK, the entry to Puppet modules development was a bit of a daunting task for beginners, whether it was finding the right template for the module directory structure or figuring out what dependencies you needed to start validating testing your Puppet code were. It was a bit of a choosing your own adventure on what Google came back with. Something the PDK was created to solve, to eliminate the guesswork of what you needed to get started and to get you started with Puppet code and modules development immediately and with community best practice. And as a result, should allow developers to shift left and aim their focus on finding bugs and fixing them sooner. So what is the PDK exactly? The PDK is a package that includes everything you need to get started on modules development, like linting and syntax validation for metadata, Puppet, and Ruby code in the forms of the Puppet syntax, Puppet lint, metadata JSON lint, and rubocop. And we've also included a default set of linting rules so that you can conform your code to community best practices. And also getting started with unit testing with RSpec and the RSpec Puppet facts, all those tools to get started unit testing right away. And it even packages Ruby, an entire Ruby environment that runs PDK. PDK also has helper methods to generate Puppet resources that you want to create, along with simple unit tests for those resources to ensure that they compile. This can all be done under a unified command line interface, so no more hunting for the right environment variables or rake tasks for you to get started linting and unit testing. Just install the PDK package built for your native platform, whether it be Linux, Windows, or Mac. But we couldn't have done all of those things without great feedback and contributions from our community. And we'd like to keep that relationship strong for all the great things to come. So, what are the ways a PDK user can contribute? With software, there are undoubtedly also bugs, and ours is no exception. If you're a PDK user and you've run across a bug, or perhaps something that was questionable user experience in our CLI, please help us by filing it either in GitHub issues or in the Puppet Jira tracker. The links are listed here. Contributors who want to help us in fixing those bugs found in GitHub issues and Jira can also absolutely do so. Pull requests are more than welcomed. Looking toward the future, though, the PDK team wants to engage the community in our design and development process early and often. We know that there are many community members and users that are as passionate about the project as we are. To do this, we've created a new project on GitHub called PDK Planning. In this project, PDK users that want to be a part of the process can be. This repo will have places for people to request features and to review and provide feedback on new feature designs. So if you have a new feature request, something essential to your module development that isn't currently in PDK, then please submit the request with a detailed description to the PDK Planning Issues Tracker for consideration. As you can see here, there's a list of feature requests that we've ported over from the PDK issues tab already. Things like PDK new function and new fact. These are requests that have been made, and we've filed them here so that we can, in the future, create RFCs for them for review and implementation. So If you want to be involved in our design process and provide feedback on a new feature before it is developed, then this is the place. In our pull requests tab of PDK Planning, we'll always, with new features, submit an RFC. So in this RFC, we'll describe what the feature is, what problem it's trying to address, and how we go about implementing it. And in this pull request, it will provide you with the ability to provide feedback. Perhaps there's a use case that we haven't considered. You can list that here in the comments of that pull request. And once that pull request has received sufficient amount of comments and feedback, then we'll approve that and prepare that for implementation. So if you are interested in the future of PDK, go ahead and watch this repo, keep track of the pull requests that keep coming in, and be a part of providing feedback and molding that feature as it comes. And if you are even more hardcore and want to develop a feature yourself, then we have a template in the PDK planning repo for submitting an RFC. So it's got a kind of a skeleton of the format of how to describe the feature, implementation details, and submission process. And once you've submitted that feature request or feature RFC, then we can review it, iterate over the CLI and implementation details. And once that RFC is approved, then it's very likely the PR to the main PDK repo with code will get approved and merged. So thanks for your time, everyone, and I look forward to seeing all your feedback and